And good evening, Scott White, Donnie G, Paul, and Toot. How you guys doing tonight? And so, Grim, how you doing tonight, man? And Dave Flowers, good evening. And you know what, Donnie G, I'm doing pretty well. It's been a day.
You able to hear me in here? Alright. Mute myself.
And for those of you who don't know, that was our call screener, Sophia. Yes, the phone lines are going to be open tonight. So if you guys feel like calling in, we will get you taken care of. And Striker, how you doing, man? And Showtime, Jesse, good to see ya. And Old Man, how you doing tonight?
guys, look, there are a lot of things going on in this world that impact all of us one way or another. Shootings in Buffalo, California today, Texas, war in Ukraine. Know, please, that if you are being impacted by anything and are struggling, that you have the crypto community to lean on, that you have the podcasts to lean on. I am not hard to get a hold of. If something's really, really bugging you, Scott at ThePodocasts.com. We are all here for each other, and you're not alone. And I had to get that out, guys. I really did. For those who've been following the news, you know why. But for us, we will, we continue, we soldier on. This is what we do. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome to the Podcasts Live. The Podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door and talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is the only speed that we have. I am your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and very, very recently lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, Bell. And I'm sorry to start it with such a downer, Bell, but, we tend to live in a bubble. Crypto people live in a bubble, and there are still things going on outside of this bubble, and it would have been very poor of me not to at least mention it. So, Bell, how are we doing tonight?
Considering the good in the day, that's what I'm focusing on. So, yeah, it's been a good day.
Good, because that's all we can really do here. We have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about and bringing the focus onto use case cryptos because, as we know, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo is no longer acceptable, and it's time for a technological revolution. Welcome to crypto, and welcome to the Podcasts. Guys, again, man, I am sorry. I don't think people really tune in here to see that kind of downer. They tune in here to just watch me lose my mind sometimes. But it had to be mentioned. All right, stuff is getting nuts right now. I mean, it really, really is. And if even if it's just you from a financial aspect, nothing here that we're doing here is worth your life. Nothing. Not the UST crash, not you going to 0.00. And I mention this because I've done it several times. I have absolutely woke up to being dead broke. Not 2 cents, not even a matter of 2 cents to rub together. I didn't even have 2 cents. I had nothing. And I've done it before. I will do it again, most likely. So what I'm putting out there and what I'm trying to say is this is not worth your life. And if you are having this kind of a hard time, step back. And if it gets really, really bad, you need someone to talk to, Scott at ThePodocast.com, man. I answer every email. I am not hard to get a hold of. I want to help is what I'm saying here. So I happened to glance at the chat. And I'm seeing a lot of Sift Chain up there, man. I'm seeing that over and over. Bell, are you seeing the same thing, or have I not seen that correctly? But it seems like a lot of people are talking about it.
You're seeing a lot of Sift Chain. And Kodar1 actually just hit us with the $5 super chat saying, "Hey, Bell, get some cheese and nachos, and thanks for keeping Scott in line."
There you go. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, guys, look, the tips don't go to me, all right? I don't need your money. I really don't need YouTube money, man. We do it for the community. That's why we keep doing this. And even though I am 24/7 into crypto right now because I have to be to try to save what I have left, I'll tell you what happened to me. I like to share these stories when they come up. And we had mentioned it on the member stream. Any of the OG members certainly remember this conversation. And my finger was on the button at Sift Chain at 14 cents. My finger was literally on the button, and I was going to go ahead and get out. Guys, I have a lot of money in there. I mean, a shocking amount of money in there. And I wrote it up. I enjoyed it, and I was going to go ahead and pop out. But so many of them, I made all those damn videos, and so many of the podcast folks followed me over there that I didn't want to dump on them. So I didn't do it. I didn't do it, and it was I don't want to say it was a mistake. All right, I make my own decisions. So it wasn't a mistake, but I really didn't want to dump it on any of the podcast folks. So I held on to it. And if you want to see what a horror show looks like, this is what a horror show looks like. I mean, just an absolute horror show. Let's look at it over 14 days. This is only over 14 days. So it was way back here somewhere where I had my finger on the button. I was unbonded, and I was going to go ahead and just beat feet. Now, that might have worked out well because odds are good I would have went with my very own don't come strategy and put it all into UST. And then right now we'd be having a way different conversation. So the only good takeaway I can see on this particular one is that I still have capital and I can still work, meaning that I have enough that I can still recover and get myself back. Look, I've been through these crashes, man. You guys have been through these crashes. We've all been through this. All right. It might seem harsh, but this is nothing different. We've all been through them. Bitcoin goes down, takes everything with it. No real surprises there. You know what? There are no particular outliers right now. During this thing and during the run up to the Bitcoin crash, Sift Chain, that was pretty much the outlier, and that's probably why I made terrible mistakes by just APYing my APRs before they did the Ascendance thing. So I was just shoving it back in more. Let's keep it going. Let's see how high it'll go. But yeah, I didn't pull it. I should have, but I didn't want to dump on the podcast folks, so I didn't. And when I say how much, it might be a little bit shocking. I do show my wallets every now and again, and yeah, there's umpteen many millions of Rowan sitting there. So if anybody should be allowed to gripe about this, to really complain about this, the PMTP, which the only thing I can figure on this, the only thing that they could possibly do at this point, if Bitcoin doesn't recover, I see no indication that it's going to, is to make it go negative. That's it. They're going to have to make it go negative. So it will literally cost you money to hold Rowan. But I don't see any other way. You know, we did a interview with, you know what, I'm not going to bash Sift Chain tonight, man. I'm not. I want to. And I was all ready to just thunder away at this, man, because I am down millions in this. Not tokens. So if anybody's got a right to gripe about this, I want to say that it's me, but I'm not going to, because there's nothing I can do now. I'm in it. That's it. For me to actually liquidate my entire holdings, I would give up 50% of them just to make the swaps. So what's the point now? I'm in it. This is it. So I have no choice but to I have no choice right now but to gut it out. And I will. You know what? Tokens go up, tokens go down. I get it. But, yeah, I have no real choice here. So it's kind of funny is that when you hold so much of a single token out in the DeFi, that's your life. That's what you got now. Because there isn't enough LPs available for me to liquidate my entire holdings on this. So what are they going to do? That's kind of the question. And I'm more than happy to talk it up, guys, because I got a hunch a lot of people are on here are in Sift Chain. I'm more than happy to talk it up and give you my viewpoints. But, yeah, man, they're going to have to make some very hyper, unbelievably, oh, my God, how could you do that aggressive moves to try to save this? Because this thing is just rough. The theory behind it was great. It was sound. But it will clearly not survive a down market. It just won't do it. I had over 500 Ethereum over there. I moved over 500 Ethereum into that to jump in the Ethereum Rowan pool. And by the time it was done being shredded by the PMTP, by the time it was done, I have less than 150 sitting over there right now. I have less than 150 Ethereum left. It got chewed up by these pools because the token declined. There was no external revenue coming in. Nobody is moving massive amounts of money out to the DeFi right now. So the AMM did what it had to do. and it sat there and chewed it up. I imagine most of you guys, if you were in USDC, because that was still my favorite pool, I thought that one, as long as it maintained, it was a great pool. But if not, if you're still in it right now, your USDC is almost non-existent. It is literally non-existent. It is getting chewed up and replaced with Rowan. And Rowan is obviously going down. So either way you put it, Ben, you are not happy on this one. It was a neat idea. It didn't work. So right now, unless they move it to a negative state, meaning that it costs you money, it's going to hit that token hard. But unless they do something like that, I don't know what you do here. Either wait for the market to recover, wait for Sift Chain to go to a penny, and where you're down so much that it doesn't really matter if you liquidate it now. It doesn't really matter what the swap fees are now because you're stuck. So it either gets to that or they take a really, really aggressive action now. I thought it was kind of funny as such a big Rowan holder that none of them ever reached out to me. No one's ever actually reached out to me about my opinion on what's going on or the governance or any of that other stuff. Nobody actually reached out to me, and I held a good 10% of the entire TVL in there. So my vote matters. I would have thought, with all the videos, considering I was about the only guy doing it, and I am available at scott@ThePodocasts.com, I would have gotten an email or something like that. But yeah, it doesn't seem like they have the best. It seems more like an experiment at this point than a serious DEX. I knew, and we had mentioned it. Bell, you remember us talking about this I knew I felt it in my bones that Axelar is going to take a big ass chunk of Sift Chain. Remember us talking about that, Bell?
I do, yes.
Yeah, and Axelar took a big-ass chunk of Sift Chain. Let me illustrate easily. Let me pull it up here, guys. 1 second. What I mean by them taking a big-ass chunk of the Sift Chain business, 3 of the big pools that I was in over there were Sift Chain USDC, Sift Chain Ethereum, and Sift Chain Wrap Bitcoin because I like it if they could move together, so I thought it would be excellent. Now, Axelar, through Osmosis, gave us, oh, look, there's Wrapped Ethereum and Osmo. There is USDC and Osmo. There's Wrap Bitcoin and Osmo, which just pulled over. So the 3 largest pools that I was in over there on Sift Chain are now available right here. The only difference is that they're paired with Osmo as opposed to being paired with Rowan. And just look at the liquidity of that one single pool. $24 million are sitting right there in pool 678. That's huge. It's a little bit frightening to me when you consider the reserves of USDC and what we just saw with USD. But I'm just saying all of the big pools that were paired with Rowan are now right over here, and they are paired with Osmo. And they're doing okay, meaning that Osmo's already done most of its tanking. So now that it's actually steady and solidified, it's starting to at least, I mean, it's not exploding, but it's also not dying. It's not dying like that. It's not doing this. And we knew they were going to take their business. We absolutely knew. I mean, I'm just 100% sure that this was going to happen, and we were talking to them. Is it going to happen? No. Don't worry about that. Axelar, man, they're doing nothing that what we're doing. They're doing everything you're doing. Everything. And they're doing it on Osmosis, which is something that everybody knows, people are familiar with. Guys, the phone lines are open, by the way, tonight. 515. I'll do it in my radio voice. Give us a call here at the podcast at 515-523-6995. Once again, that's 515-523-6995. We want to hear from you. That's my radio voice, by the way. I'm trying to lighten up, guys. I have lost more money, but I haven't lost any tokens. I guess that's what we're going to default to, is that I have lost a lot of money, but I haven't lost any tokens. And I have changed over because I'm so nervous around stable tokens right now, particularly because the big daddy, the big one, and we talked about this last night, but I think it's fair to talk about it again today, Bell, because this is a message that really needs to be screamed far and wide. So if you guys look right here at USDT, that's Tether. USDT, the number 4 crypto on the planet, $73.2 billion of value in this one. That means there are 73.2 billion tokens out there of USDT. So Emery has been just going absolutely crazy monitoring stable coins, and he's been looking at the reserves. He's been reading the audits, and he has been tracking this all the way through. Do you know what USDT, you know what Tether, you know what this is reserved by, how much it's actually holding? 14%. So out of that $73.2 billion, as of their last audit, this is not a number we're making up. This is the number that was presented by the auditing group. They're holding 14% is actual in physical capital reserves. That is shocking, absolutely shocking to me, because if one moment they decided 15% of these people at one time said, you know what, we want all of our money back, what are they going to do? They're going to back. It's going to lose its peg. Everyone's going to lose faith. It's going to go down. That's going to be the next UST. I actually thought, because we'd been talking this up a little bit, I thought Tether was easier. I'm surprised that they went after UST and not Tether, because Tether was so exceptionally vulnerable. They could have absolutely wrecked Tether, and they could have did it with a lot less work. But I don't know. I guess they wanted to take out Luna and UST at the same time and give Quan just a big black eye. But that one is a hell of a lot more vulnerable. So I'm just saying, I don't own a lot of Tether. You do you. I'm not telling you how to do your business, but I don't own a lot of Tether. That was shocking to me. So, but because of that, because of my recent aversion to stable tokens, I've been trying other things. I've been looking other ways to try to hold value. And that's all I've been doing, is trying to get into what I consider very solid projects at very, very low entry points. And it's not that I hope it goes up. I just want it to be stable. I just want it to not go down. And that's an odd way to invest in crypto, is that you're just hoping it doesn't go down. So I've been shoving, believe it or not, I've been making some videos out of it, by the way. Nobody watched them, but they were fun videos for me. I've been moving a little bit more over to here. So I've been picking what I consider low end of the spectrum on the projects, meaning price-wise, where I consider this thing to be relatively again, not going to explode, but not exactly going to drop too much either. So I've been making like $2,000 and $3,000 buys over here, just whatever I get from my APYs from my, from my Rowan stake. So I've been pulling that out. I'm not helping your price either, by the way, because I am liquidating it. But I'm pushing it out over here, and I've been jumping into things. You know what shocked me more than anything else out of everything that I've put in here as far as being up and down on it? AMP held the best out of everything, and I've made a couple of buys in it. But AMP has held better than Polygon. It's held better than Scale. It's held better than another couple tokens that I'm in. AMP held best. That is just, it's stunning to me. But yeah, it did hold best. So I've decided that I'm gonna buy a million AMP. That's it. I'm gonna buy a million AMP. I might even do it here on the show, but I want to buy just a million AMP so that it gives me a little bit more credibility, whether I am bashing it or rooting for it. But I could say, hey, I'm heavy in it. I got a million AMP. So I'll probably do it here on the show. I don't know. If you guys want to see it, I'll go ahead and do it. It'll be funny, too, because when I make that big of a purchase, AMP will go down. It will go down because of all the bots that are trading this thing, looking for these fractions of a cent. So it'll actually go down after I make a large purchase of it. I think that's hilarious. All right, Belle. And you know what? This whole time I was on live instead of the third screen. So this is what I'm talking about right here. AMP is held better than Polygon. And I actually DCA'd a little bit of Polygon, and it held better than Scale. So by a raw percentage, I'm actually down more on Scale in the Polygon than it was on AMP. So yeah, as far as a place to hold my money, it might very well be AMP. Now, for the AMP people that are saying, Scott's back on board, Scott's not on board. All right, Scott is not on board. It's a tool. All right, it's a tool for me right now, and that's pretty much all it is. And if it hits a little pump, goes up 15, 20%, I'll let it all go. So, no, it's not a matter of Scott's back, but it is a matter that I can look at this very, very pragmatically and see that this thing's holding its value pretty well. So, with that, I mean, it's low. It's gone lower. It went to a penny, but I'll take .013. How about this? It's held better than Sift Chain. We'll just put it right there. All right, Belle, I talked way too long here. Do we have any questions coming? You seem like you were chomping at the bit, and I got a text message. What's up?
All right, Kodar1. Hey, Scott, I put half of my secret into staking, other half on standby. Any suggestions or sounds good?
I'm sorry, read the question again.
From Kodar1. Hey, Scott, I put half of my secret into staking, other half on standby. Any suggestions or sounds good?
No, I think you're good on that. Right now, interestingly, because the price is so low, just like everything else. Look, secret is, they're going to have, I can't let it out the bag. I'm not allowed to, NDA. But secrets, a lot of stuff is happening on secret, and a lot more stuff is going to be happening on secret. I was really, really griping when they L2'd. I was livid because I don't invest in secret because I want to give up half my value capture in it. But there's a lot coming up, and I think now that I look at it in the big picture, I see why they had to do it. So I understand it. I think you're in a good place there. Depends on your buy-in. If you bought in at $10, what does it matter now? I mean, you're down 80%, so what's it matter now? But no, if you're just now starting to push into secret, you could do worse. I'll just leave it right there. So definitely get it staked. If nothing else, I don't like idle money. I mean, I just don't. I want to keep it moving, or I want to have it somewhere if I can. Maybe look at the secret Osmo pool. I mean, it's not a bad pool, 24-hour bond. It's not terrible. You're not going to kill it, but at least you're earning something on that. You're picking up the occasional, the Osmo every 24 hours. And the tokens are moving pretty well together. So as secret moves, Osmo's moving with it. So you see that nice little train. That means you're not eating IL, and you're not getting Sift Chain. Ha! Bell, that's what I'm going to say. I just thought of that. That's what I'm going to say. Instead of we're talking about IL, I'm just going to say you got Sift Chained. That's what I'm going to do right now. And a round of applause for me because it's my show and I can say what I want. Belle, please carry on.
Master, why don't they stop minting talking about Sift?
They can't. They can't. That literally, they cannot. And it's the economic. Look, this is the model that they created. All right, this stuff is being pulled from the treasury. So think of it as going from a staked point to being unstaked and sold, because that's effectively what they're doing, because they're giving me a lot of it. They cannot stop it, because if for even 1 second that they've stopped it, the economic model absolutely collapses. All right, that's like closing the door to the bank. That's like saying, okay, and you can't unbond, and we're taking down all the LPs, and you can't do anything here. So we're just going to hold on to your money involuntarily until we decide a better way to do this. They are minting themselves flat right now. It was a good model, but it does not function when there's no value capture in a declining market. Clearly, it doesn't. So every time that they're minting all of these things, the great APRs, the great APYs, all this stuff is wonderful when there is additional money coming onto the DEX. But there isn't. There isn't. Nobody is moving money right now. This is kind of the problem. And they are going to continue to mint themselves flat. Absolutely flat. And every time I'm getting... once a day, I'll go and pull the SIF rewards. I don't even know what I got, 60, 70,000 or something like that, and I dump them. I sell them. So I'm literally not helping the cause, but I have to recover some of this, man. I'm not that kind of guy that's going to, I already took one for the team. I didn't dump it at 14, so I already did my good deed. So I'm done with that. Now I'm doing what's best for me, and that's taking that, converting it, and buying AMP or something else with it. So no, they cannot turn it down. However, they can change the PMTP. They can change that to a negative state, which means it'll effectively cost you to hold on to Rowan. But unless they do that, man, I don't see what stops us. The market is not going to recover. The value is not coming in. So either they find a big-ass VC that is going to shore them up with another $25, $30 million, or yeah, we got a problem here. Belle, please carry on.
Microman, if we can get out of the pools, is straight staking still worth it, or escape to something like Osmo?
Wow, man, you guys are asking me for financial advice. I don't give financial advice. I can tell you what I did. So the bulk of what I recovered when I pulled out of those LPs, which I had to do, man. But when I pulled out of those LPs, I had no choice but to stake. All right. I had too much. I could not liquidate it. I just couldn't, because when you're liquidating that amount with with an LP that's sitting at there's less than $2 million in this LP. So if I wanted to liquidate it over here on Osmo, basically I couldn't, because I would have ate the entire pool. So I'm stuck, absolutely stuck in this. And I could either LP it into 629 right now, which I refuse to do because Rowan is still going down. So unless I am I just want to hug impermanent loss and embrace it and make videos about all the damn money I lost, I either stick it in there or I straight stake it. So that's what I had to do. And the staking percentage is like 195%. So that Rowan spigot, it's still on, man. They're just Rowan just pouring out of it into a market that, again, is not capturing any value right now. So this is a problem. Am I supposed to say this, Bell? I don't even know anymore, because it seems like if I ever say anything negative ever, then I get the business. But it seems like this needs to be said. So, guys, look, I'm only going to tell you the truth, man. This is the way I see it. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying this is the way I see it. And facts seem to be backing me up on this. Just saying on that one. Bell, please carry on.
Milwick 63. Will Osmosis and the Cosmos follow Sift Chain down? How are they different?
Well, they act differently. I'll just put it that way. So I'm trying to think of a good analogy or metaphor that I can pour into this thing here. Okay, imagine a whole bunch of different countries. I want to explain that. I'm going to explain it to a 5-year-old. I'm not saying you're 5 years old, man. I just want to try to explain it as basically as I can so that you know I understand it. So when you're looking at the IBC, when you're looking at Osmosis, I want you to imagine all of these other level ones that are out there. And if you want to see a whole bunch of level ones, these are level ones. All right, everything over here is a level 1, and there's a lot of them. So we can keep going. Now, I want you to imagine these level 1s as little kingdoms, little pocket kingdoms that are just spread all over the world. And it's great. Each kingdom is its own entity, its own government. They do their own thing. The problem is that they can't trade with each other because they don't speak a common language. They just don't. So Sentinel cannot speak to Regen Network because they speak different languages and there's no translators. So along comes Osmosis and the IBC. They are a translator. So what they do is they enable trade between all of these little pocket countries. They enable trade between them at one central location, speaking a common language that they all understand. This is what the IBC is. Now, why is it doing this? Because you know what? I'm going to be absolutely honest here. Osmo, if they don't find a way to get if they don't find a way to capture more value, right now their big selling point is that you can do these trades for effectively free. You're paying the swap, but Osmosis themselves, they are not getting any value out of this. There's no value capture. That's a problem. That is absolutely a problem, because the more transactions that take place on here, this is computing power. These are validators. These are people that are paying money for this and are effectively getting no value capture for it. I would be a huge fan right now if Osmosis came out, and I don't care what kind of a black eye it gave them. If they came out and said, you know what, we're putting a minimum gas fee on every single transaction, I'd be great. Do it. Call it a nickel, call it a dime, call it a quarter. I don't care. Terra was 67 cents. I'd be completely satisfied paying 67 cents per transaction over here on Osmosis. I would be 100% happy with that, because eventually you got to pay the translator. And right now, nobody's paying them. Even the gas fees that they get, man, are just microscopic. It doesn't even pay to keep the lights on. So I'd like to see them increase gas fee, because I'm heavy in Osmo and I want to capture value of what's going through here. But the question was, why is Osmosis different from Sift Chain? They don't really operate the same way. Sift Chain themselves, they are their very own little pocket kingdom. but Sift Chain cannot they can import Ethereum tokens, and they could eventually import every token that they want on here, but they're doing it in a different method. So it's yeah, I mean, I guess you could say they're kind of like that, but they can do Ethereum. However, Osmosis just said, fine, we'll onboard Sift Chain, we'll onboard Axelar, so you still have access to all that stuff. I do understand the question, but I'll take it apart a little bit more. How about I make a separate video for that nobody will watch, but I'll make a separate video talking about just that very thing, because it is a good question. I want to expand on it. The nifty thing with Osmosis, as opposed to what Sift Chain's doing, is that as Osmosis onboards these L1s, they are also could potentially get value from all of the dApps that are built on these S1s. On these L1s, and Sift Chain really doesn't do that. So there you go. I hope that kind of answered the question. I promise I'll expand on that. Belle, please carry on.
Microman, right now, would you say stability is the most important thing to look for, growth later?
Yep. Look, man, it is a collapsing market right now. All right. We are, it's repressed. I just saw it yesterday and it was beautiful, man. Look, I 24, when I'm awake, I'm staring at boards, whether it be the Dow Jones, whether it be Bitcoin price charts. I'm looking at these things, man. All right, this is what I do. I have 4 monitors in here. On my 4th monitor, it has a dozen different active trading boards on it. My computer hates it, but I am just all the way into this stuff, man, because I have to know. So, yeah. I'm sorry, man. I just derailed myself. Belle, give me that question again. I'm sorry, guys. Look, man, there's a lot going on today.
All right. Right now, would you say stability is the most important thing to look for, growth later?
Right now, man, it's all about just holding on, saving whatever capital that you can right now. Now, normally I would be completely don't come right now. I would have it in stable coins, but I don't trust them right now. Any of them. And I would love it, man, because I'm sure I could get some talking heads somewhere else to say, you can trust USDC. Look at everybody trusts USDC and UST. We all trusted, USDT. We all trusted UST too. Look how that worked out. So, no, I mean, I'm not going to position myself for that again right now. So everything that I'm looking for is stability. I'm looking for tokens that are absolutely on the bottom. I don't even care if they grow. I just care if they're flat, so that I can put money into them and hold its value until whatever is going to happen here in the crypto world happens. It'll recover. You know what? It's going to recover. Crypto recovers. I'm not going to be that guy with the oracle with the crystal ball, but I'm not seeing anything that's happening right now to suggest that we're going to zero. I'm just not seeing that. All right, Web3 is here. Web3 is not going to go away. We might take haircuts from time to time, but it's still going to be here. So I'm not planning on going to zero here. I'm just not. So if I'm not planning that, then I have to find a way to preserve my capital until about August or September. It's going to be a rough summer. I assure you that it is going to be a rough summer. So all I'm looking for is stability. I'm not even looking for growth anymore. I'm just looking for something that'll hold flat. Belle, please carry on.
All right. Donnie G chiming in with a comment from when you announced the phone number to the show. He says that's not a radio voice. That's a strip club DJ voice.
Oh, you guys want me to do that one? That should have been my thing. Don't you think? I would have been an excellent, hey, now coming to the stage, we got Mandy coming to the main stage. Be sure and tip your waitress. Yeah, I could do that. I could be a strip club voice. I'm moneyed person, so I'm not going to, but I think it'd be fun. I think it would absolutely be fun. And by the way, guys, that number is 515-523-6995 to talk to the podcast. I don't care what you want to talk about, man. If you want to tell me about a new pair of blue jeans, what do they call jeans now? They're still jeans, or are they something else? I'm an old guy, so I don't know.
They're still jeans.
Okay, if you want to tell me about a new pair of pants you got, man, look, I'll give you airtime, man. How many crypto channels are saying call in? Nobody does that because they don't want to face you down. I am more than happy to face you down because I believe in my message. Belle, please carry on while I pour This is a very special apple juice, guys, by the way. It is called whistlepig piggyback. So it is a very, very special apple juice, and I'm going to pour me just a snoot of it. So, Belle, please carry on.
All right, Jason Williamson, sir, are you in the Sift Chain Discord?
No. There's no way they're going to want to hear my opinion on that, man. Look, they owe me some answers, all right? If they owe anybody some answers, they owe me some goddamn answers. So I'm doing my very, very best not to get into the Sift Chain Discord because I know I'm going to get some little snot nose up there is going to be, they're going to call me out. And look, and I hate to say it, I have the muscle to shut it down right now. All right? I'm that guy. So, no, I don't want to climb into the Discord because somebody's going to piss me off over there. I'm going to dump, and you will not believe what happens when I do it. So, no, as much as I appreciate it, and I love outreach, I appreciate all that. But, no, probably not a good idea that I be in there. Belle, please carry on.
And Microman, are the various trust token coins like True USD or True GBP in the same poorly backed position?
All of them are. And again, look, man, we got Emery is absolutely going to the mattresses on this one, so I don't want to talk over him. But we have it, believe it or not, the one that we saw, that Emery saw, I read it, and we've talked about it, and we talk about it a lot, man, because we don't want to put out bad information. And I feel like I got a lot of people stuck in UST. Look, nobody saw that coming, and we didn't really consider it until the event happened, but that's kind of life. So out of everything that we've been looking at, that Emery's been looking at, and he still swears up and down on it. And after I read the tokenomics and seen the performance, I kind of agree, is one called Frax. That's probably the closest thing that I've seen to something that is it's kind of a hybrid, and I think maybe we need that. We need something that has some kind of backing, we need something that has mechanisms in place so that we cannot get UST'd again. And they seem to have. I'm sorry, I'm going to pull up Osmosis permission list so I can show this over to you guys. So yeah, look, when you come over here, you're going to see Frax somewhere on here. So they were good enough. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, you can see Frax right there. So you can purchase Frax and just kind of park your money right there. But, yeah, that's it's probably about the one. If I was to trust any stable coin, it would probably be that one. That would probably be the one where I would park the bulk of my money, which is funny because if I pop over here to Osmosis, you see that I have what do I got sitting here? I got 15 grand sitting in USDC, and the only reason I'm doing that is because it's 15 grand. Let's not get nuts. I hope that answered the question. Right now, I am hesitant on any of them. And if I'm putting money into stable coins, it's just to park them for a few hours or a day or so until I figure out what to do with them. Belle, please carry on.
So Grim, Scott, have you seen Evmos on the frontier now? I made a small bag on that today.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is good booze. I haven't had. I'm sorry. That is really good apple juice, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't had whistlepig in a long, long time. You know what? Big thumbs up. Which token were they asking about?
Evmos.
Let's take a look here. Yeah, right there on the very bottom. It is there, as a matter of fact. And let me see. If we do the withdrawal, it's going to send us all the way over here to get nuts with this stuff. I love it when they do it, and it's just a link. I hate that. So the first time I'm clicking on it, guys, it's clear that it's sending me over to a bridge. But let's see if we can make a direct trade for it. Stand by. I have some USDC. Which one do I have? Right there. And let's see if Evmos is actually on there and tradable. So that would mean that there'd have to be a pool here somewhere. I haven't even looked. Yeah, see, that's why you can't make big trades in new tokens, because the pools don't support them. So if I wanted to buy $10,000 worth of Evmos right now, it's going to cost me $1,000 to do it. For those of you who have ever wondered what slippage is, that's slippage. All right, that's slippage. So I'm not going to pull up the pool right now. We'll take this one apart later. But Yeah, clearly the pool is not really, really large, but it is tradable on, if you're into Evmos. If you're into it, it's tradable on Osmosis permissionless. Bell, please carry on.
All right, Microman, are Reddit moons the only safe option?
Reddit moons? What the hell is a Reddit moon? Bell, do you know what a Reddit moon is? Sophia, do you know what a Reddit moon is? Sophia, guys, look, Sophia is pretty much our social media person because I don't know anything about it. And honestly, I know Belle's the producer of the show, but she is not a social media icon. So it's not really her wheelhouse either, but we've kind of handed this stuff over. Sophia, jump on Zoom or unmute yourself because I want to know about this. What the hell is, what was the question again? See if Sophia knows.
All right, are Reddit moons the only safe option?
What is a Reddit moon, Sophia? I'm counting on you here.
I don't know, but
You
I
don't?
will find out.
Thank you. By the way, guys, she's on camera right now, and I'm sure she's horrified that she is, in fact, streaming right now. But that's Sophia. Go ahead and wave at the camera. They've never seen you before. Go ahead and wave. That's Sophia. That's her social
Hi.
media, call screener, everything. So if you guys wanted to call the podcast, that's who you're talking to. All right, Belle, please carry on.
All right, Milwick 63, are your LPs on Osmosis mostly 1 day or any 7 or 14 days?
So I'm kind of breaking them apart into, I want you to think of bonds, 1 year bond, 5 year bond, 7 year bond. I want you to kind of think of that because that's more or less what I'm doing here. In this case, it's going to be a 1 day bond, a 7 day bond, and a 14-day bond. So I'm breaking up a lot of my pools in this, and the reason that I'm doing it, you're still unmuted.
Yep,
Don't
I'm
sigh
going.
at me. Don't sigh at me. You knew what you were getting into when you joined the. Look at her. Look at how embarrassed she is. And you're going to be on camera until Belle says something, by the way. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm more or less broken into. You guys can see right here that I have that I'm broken apart pretty much into 1 day, 7 day, and 14-day bonds. Think of them as exactly that.
And Sylvie is actually chiming into with the answer to the Reddit moons.
Okay.
So Sylvie says you get Reddit moons for likes on the cryptocurrency sub. They are technically a crypto that is used on Reddit to pay for perks.
I had no idea. Should I be investing in this? I'll tell you what, guys, tell me what it is, and maybe I could throw 20 grand in it or something. It might be funny. You never know. You never know. I don't invest in products. You know what? One could almost argue that that's a product. One can almost argue that it is, in fact, have a use case, and that's what I'm looking for here. Guys, here at the podcast, we are all about use case tokens. If it has a use case, Scott's probably interested. So even at this, it might be a ridiculous use case, but it is, in fact, a use case. But I want to get back to the question. Yeah, I want you to think of traditional bonds at 1 year, 5 year, 7 year bonds. So I'm more or less doing that with my LPs over on Osmosis between 1 day, 7 day, and 14 days. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I want to have liquidity available. It is important. It is critical. I cannot stress this enough right now that it is important to keep your tokens earning and yet have liquidity available. So I've probably got I'm sticking a lot more in 1 day bonds than I think, or 1 day bondings than I think I've ever done before. But it is critical right now. This market is moving. It is wild. And when the market goes irrational, I have no intention of being locked in unless I'm stuck, like in Sift Chain. So if I'm not stuck in it, I'm going to try to keep it earning, even if it's minimal. But anything that you earn right now, any tokens that you earn right now, become just exponentially valuable as the market starts to recover. So, you know what? Keep that in mind. I hope that answers the question. Belle, please carry on. And this is good. Oh, my God. I haven't had this in a long time. That is good. That is better than Welch's. That is good apple juice.
All right, Scott White, how can we fully trust a stable coin anymore?
You can't. You can't. I think they're great if I need you to hold a bag of, if I need you to hold 100 grand for me just for a couple hours, and I give it to you in a brown paper bag, and I tell you not to do anything with it. and I'm going to come back in a few hours, and I'm going to pick up that bag of $100,000. That's about the amount of trust that I have for them right now, because the reality, I know we don't like to talk about it because we need an anchor. Crypto absolutely needs an anchor. We need something that we can trust, something that is never going to fail, something volatile. This is always going to work. We need it. You need it, or else what the hell are we doing here? But I want you to kind of imagine that you take a brown paper bag and you stuff $100,000 in it, a big stack of hundreds, and you give it to a stranger who happens to be sitting on a bench feeding the pigeons. And you just hand it to him and say, here, I want you to hold this bag for me. I'll be back in a couple hours. That is effectively the feeling that I get right now around stablecoins. And I will have this goddamn argument with any of these people who are telling me that nothing, it can never, ever happen. Baby, I've been through it. I was just there. And you're telling me that the pain and the loss that I just experienced can never happen again. You're out of your damn mind. I am a pragmatist. If it happened before and it's mathematically possible to happen again, over a long enough time span, it will happen again. My logic is sound. So I'm more than happy to give the stranger my bag of money as long as I can keep my eye on him, meaning that I'm going to be back real quick. I'm more than happy to park it there. But the podcast, the Scott's Don't Come strategy just got blown up. And I did the stream, man. I admitted it. I lost, man. I misjudged. I should have calculated it better, but I didn't expect something like that. So I'll just put it right there. As far as the long-term thing, no, there's nothing I'm going to trust right now. Who would do that? Who would do that? So yeah, I again, you guys saw what I'm doing, man. I'm looking for solid projects with a stupidly low entry price, and I'm just hoping I don't lose a lot on them. That's Scott's new don't come strategy, and I'm staying completely liquid in them. Belle, please carry on.
All right. Scott White chiming in with a very creative comment. We've all been sprayed by skunks right now. I'm rebuilding little by little. Yeah, the smell does fade away.
And that's all you can do, man. Look, you're down or you're done. That's it. That's there. This is very, very binary right now. You are either down or you are done. If you're done, thank you for watching the podcast, but we're still a crypto stream. We might be down, but we're not done. So if you're in that camp, man, look, I'm sorry for your loss. I really am. But this is crypto and this happens. You can make the best plan ever. You can do everything perfectly and it doesn't work out. That is investing, and it's been this way throughout the history of mankind. You could have a perfect plan. I actually like a quote from George Foreman. Believe it or not, I'm a huge boxing fan, and I love Big George. And his quote was very, very simple, man. Everybody's got a great plan stepping into the ring until you get hit. And then that plan just goes right out the damn window. I had a great plan until UST took it on the chin, and that's it, man. My plan kind of got wrecked. So you got to pivot. I mean, that's it. You got to pivot. You're either down or you're done. I'm down, but I will recover because, I mean, not to sound like a smartass, and I probably will. I'll recover because that's what I do. All right, I've done it over and over and over. Honestly, I think I need the trial. I need to put the bricks in the backpack and carry them up the hill, holding an anvil, walking over broken glass, because that's the only way that I can feel successful. So maybe that's kind of my thing, and I continue to put myself in positions where I can get wiped out. Maybe that's what I need. But I'll tell you what, man, it keeps you focused. It makes you look. It makes you dig. It makes you a better investor. If everybody comes in and wins every single time, all we're going to have is a world of bad investors because they're convinced that nothing they do really matters and they're always going to make money. Sir, how do you feel now? How are you feeling right at this minute where every time I hit refresh, I lose $20,000? All right, so you know what? You got to just keep grinding, man. That's all I got to say on that. Belle, please carry on.
All right, and Scott White, paxg. I need to know your thoughts.
I have no thoughts on it, man. I'm sorry, dude. I'll take a look. I only got so much time. That's really all it is. But I promise, Bell, watch. You're gonna watch Bell take a note right now. paxg, please write it down. Let me look into it. If I don't know and I'm not solid on it, I'm not gonna offer an opinion. So I apologize for that, babe. But I'll get you on Thursday. Bell, please carry on.
David Dahl, you know anything about Tron stablecoin?
Yeah, it's funny that you said that because I was just talking to Emery about this. Dude, we are all over this, all right? Myself and Emery, man, we talk. You think we talk a lot here on the stream? You should hear us when we're not on the stream. And, yeah, as a matter of fact, we were just talking about Tron stablecoin because we're both big ecosystem people. Ecosystems are great. Ecosystem tokens are great to invest in because you not only capture the value of the ecosystem token, but you capture the value of all the dApps that are built on the ecosystem. If you want to see one that's nuts, look at Matic. I mean, the amount of dApps that are on there are just, I mean, it's almost like you centralized Web3 right there on Algorand. It's ridiculous how many things are built on there. But you know what? Tron's always also a big one, and we were literally talking about the Tron stable token. It might be in trouble. I'm just going to say that. I hate to give answers like that. Right now, it's worth $1. I'll just say that, but it is not something that I would invest in. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I'm doing, and it's not something that I would invest in. Bell, please carry on.
All right, and Dejan Kursik, what's your think about ADA and Rose? I think he's asking for your thoughts on ADA and Rose.
You can't go wrong with ADA. You know what? It's I'm a little bit ashamed that us as a channel right now have not explored ADA. We have a member on here, Toot. I don't know if is Toot on the stream right now. Because
she was earlier.
She is absolutely Christine is absolutely our ADA guru, and it's great, man. I love having her. I love having her as part of the podcast, and we do have a Discord, by the way, guys. If you want to, it ain't me, all right. I barely even talk on there, but there is some great information that gets passed on the podcast Discord, but. Christine is our resident ADA person. So anything that's happening over there on ADA, she is all over it. I would love to be able to answer this particular question because, you're talking about another monster. ADA is a monster. If you want to talk about that, you got to talk about Matic. You have to talk about Cosmos. We're talking about monstrous ecosystems. But I have not spent enough time over there to actually be able to answer the question. And it's not that I don't want to. It's just that I only have so much capital to go around. So if I continue, and diversification is great, don't get me wrong, but I can only track and be educated on so many tokens. That's it, man. I'm an old guy, and there's only so much that I can keep up on. I assure you, I'm a big fan of ADA. I have a T-shirt. You guys might have seen me wearing it on some videos. I actually have a T-shirt. But I am not invested in a great amount of tokens over there. It's not because I don't like it. It's because I only have so much time. Bell, please carry on.
All right. And Carl Hopkinson is actually calling you out on your quoting George Foreman. He said it was Mike Tyson that said that.
Nope. You know what? Let me ask you. Did you say it? Did you see that on something that Mike Tyson said, or did you see it on Wikipedia? Because I assure you that it was George Foreman. You know what? We'll let it go. I'll tell you what. Yes, it was Mike Tyson. I don't want to fight right now. Bell, please carry on.
All right. Sylvicor is chiming in on Tron, saying you got to stay away from Tron. Creator sells his Tron and moves it into Ethereum.
Yeah, I know. Look, man, we do our very best here not to give financial advice. I'm not going to tell you to stay away from Tron. I'm not going to tell you to get into Tron. Baby, you do you. But you know what? I still want to have this conversation. I'm sorry. I'm fired up now, man. Look, I would have to ask Mike Tyson. I saw your last fight with Buster Douglas, man. How did that plan work out? I was at Prairie Meadows Casino, and I paid $40 to walk into that room and watch you get just schooled. I I've never seen such a good boxer with such a bad plan ever. I mean, that was rough watching him just get thumped around all those rounds. I'm sorry, Belle. Please carry on. Don't get me talking about boxing. I'm a big fan.
Then I won't read you two brain cells question until
No. Read it. I don't hide from shit.
Right,
Nobody
fine.
called in tonight. You guys know that we pay to have the phone lines open, and not a single damn person called in, man. I'm a little bit depressed. Go ahead.
Mike Tyson doesn't. Two brain cells. Mike Tyson doesn't know what getting punched means.
Boy, he found out, didn't he? I mean, Tyson was great. All right, Tyson's the king. What I'm saying is I don't want to be punched by Mike Tyson, because this is a man that will kill you with a single punch. So I certainly don't want to fight the man, but you know what? This is going to devolve into something else. If you guys want to hear me talking about boxing, subscribe to the original podcast channel, because I talk about this shit all the time. Belle, please carry on.
All right. Dejan again saying, thank you, sir. What about Rose?
Again, man, I can't comment on it. I don't want to say anything that I don't know intimately. That's really all it is, man. I'm not trying to hedge it or, you know what? That's it. I'm not trying to. Emery said I was an influencer. I don't even know what the hell an influencer is, but I assure you guys that was not what.
Sorry, Millick63 just jumped in with yeah. I'll read that question in just a minute.
Well,
Finish your thought.
look, I don't want people investing based on what I do. All right, because it's worked out for me. For all you know, I got lucky. That's it. So don't do what I do. All right. And right now I'm doing some absolutely crazy shit in crypto, stuff that I've never done before, because if the market is irrational, I have no choice but to act irrationally. And that's kind of where we are. So don't do what I do. But what I'm getting at that is that I don't invest in products that I don't know intimately. So if I'm not answering your question on Rose, it's because I don't know it intimately. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's, that two different people asking about that. So I'm sure it's wonderful, but I'm not familiar with it. That's all it is. Belle, please carry on.
All right. The question that was cracking me up, Millick63, what's the story on the creepy clown hanging from the mic?
Oh, you don't know who that is? That's Captain Spaulding. Are you not a fan of Rob Zombie movies? Dude, I'm a huge horror movie buff. If you walk around my house, you're going to see very old school vintage movie posters. And I'm just a huge fan. And I absolutely love Rob Zombie. And this is Captain Spaulding. So if you're not familiar, do yourself a favor. I'm actually jealous a little bit, because if you don't know who this is, that means you haven't seen the movies, and you get the virgin experience of never seeing The Devil's Rejects. So do yourself a favor, man. Broaden your mind, and I think it's going to be wonderful. Belle, we're just about coming to the end of it, but we do have a caller. So as soon as Sophia puts them up in there, I want to put them on the air. But we got time for another question, so what you got?
That was actually the last question.
Oh, excellent. So as soon as Sophia screams the 540 area code, we're going to put them on the air. I have to pay for the calls. It's a service that we pay for called Call in the Studio, and I'm more than happy to do it because I want to hear from you guys. That's all it is, man. I want to hear from you, and I don't see a lot of callers calling in. But right now, we're gonna find out, because we actually have MJ from as soon as I unmute him. We actually have MJ, area code 514. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going wonderfully. How are you?
Doing great.
What you got on your mind, babe? You called me.
I just wanted to call in, let everybody know that now's not the time to worry about anything. Just hold strong. Be confident in your investments and all that,
Oh,
and that's it, pretty much. I didn't really have a question. I just wanted to call in, say what's up to everybody.
Well, I appreciate it, man, because you're the first caller that we've gotten tonight. This cost me like $24 each show, and nobody calls in. But you know what? When every time you hit refresh, you're down 15 grand. $24 a show is just not a lot out of your pocket. It's like, I don't worry about that. I don't worry about that.
Yeah,
I
it's
just,
understandable.
I don't see a lot of crypto shows that are offering call-ins. So I was like, let's be different. Let's offer call-ins. So yes, we absolutely offer call-ins. I love the interaction. I don't know about you, man, but I love the interactions. Are you working it? I'll tell you what, I know MJ because he's on our Discord. If you had to make one dish right now, MJ happens to be a chef, not a cook, but an actual chef. If you had to make one dish right now and it's the last dish you're ever going to make, what would it be?
Definitely a ribeye with some sort of potato, and that's about it, really.
There you go, babe. There you go. I appreciate you calling, man. I'm sending you out of here, man. I appreciate you calling in. You are welcome, of course, to call anytime that you want. Appreciate it. All right, Bell. I'm all talked out, man. So, Bell, why don't you talk us out of here? For the folks who joined us tonight, I cannot thank you enough, man. We're in this negative sub mode right now. It seems like if I'm not talking positively, nobody wants to listen, and they make a point to hit the unsub button. So it's kind of discouraging to me, but I promise you I'm going to keep bringing it because I love our members. I love our community, man. I cannot get enough of you guys. So you know what? We're going to be back. We go live all the time. I've never, ever done this, but I will do it now. If you hit the bell notification, when we go live, and we go live all the time when it's not actually scheduled because sometimes you just got to get it out. So it's not just Tuesdays and Thursdays anymore. I go live all the time. Sometimes it's just me alone, but if you want to hear me ramble, I assure you I will, but I also let you know exactly what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, why I'm doing it, because, it's crypto and it's confusing sometimes. So with that, I'm all done. I am completely talked out. I really have to go to the bathroom. So, Belle, why don't you talk us up and talk us out? Guys, I had a wonderful time tonight.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who joined us on tonight's live stream, we seriously appreciate each and every one of you. We could not do this without you guys. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You guys throw out amazing questions. You guys, you're making the calls to call in and talk to us. Your contribution is not unnoticed and it is appreciated. Now, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, definitely don't hesitate to drop Scott, myself, Emery, or even Sophia an email. Scott at ThePodcast.com, Emery at ThePodcast.com, Sophia at ThePodcast.com, or Bella at ThePodcast.com. Again, we sincerely thank each and every one of you guys. We are going to be back on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We love you guys, and we will see you next time.
I have to answer one question before we go. The other clown was a guy named Art the Clown, and it was from a movie. You know what? It was, look up Art the Clown. Again, guys, I'm a huge horror movie fan. So if there was a clown in it, odds are good he's going to show up right here eventually. And it's actually a funny story. I was at Universal Studios, and people leave little packets of stuff all over to find. And it's kind of neat and enhances your experience. And I found a packet of air freshener clowns, and it was Art the Clown and Captain Spaulding. There's Jason in there. I think it's wonderful. So that's it, guys. We will please catch us on Thursday. I don't think I'll go live tomorrow. I might. If you want to see it, hit the bell icon. That's it, guys. Cheers. We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most current content.